Welcome back to my model railroad. As you can see, I have the grass paper down finally. It's been a while. I had to go out and get some new grass paper. My old grass paper here was so old that it basically, all the grass pieces fell off and it was no longer so green as just a bunch of cardboard. So I ended up buying some on Amazon. Got this, 50-inch by 100-inch grass mat by its Bachmann brand. So far I'm pretty happy with it. The main problem is that it likes to stay coiled up, and you really have to kind of press it down. I tried two different gluing methods. Over here I used just regular wet glue, and I didn't do such a good job of actually spreading the glue out. You're either supposed to dilute it probably with a little bit of water, or it just smoothed it out. So I kind of have these ridges on here. I might go and replace this at some point, but since being perfectly flat isn't too realistic either, I figured well, what the heck, we'll push onwards. Over here on this piece, after I realized my first piece here was giving me these lines, I went with a spray adhesive. The spray adhesive was a little hard to use, but it was just basic Elmer's spray adhesive glue. And it gave pretty nice results, at least as far as being flat goes. And a flat isn't really, completely prototypic or, realistic either. But, we'll see, how it all looks when it's done. Okay, so my next step was to go through and make sure that all my wires were long enough, and some of them still weren't. So I went and instead of just electrically taping all the connections together, I actually soldered them together. The problem is with Bachmann, since they have these proprietary connectors, you have to make sure that the ends of your wire have these connectors on them and not just a loose wire. So as you can see here, I started getting a little short to the green wire when I started wire stripping. So rather than go straight to this thicker wire here, I used a spare Bachmann red cable, just as an intermediate splice. It looks pretty bad, I know, but so far everything works, so I'm just going to move forward with that. And then the next step was to go and feed the wires through the sandwich of my subbase and my grass paper, and then run the wires over here to the end to where the break would be in the table. I just went and taped a whole bunch of paper on top of that here to keep everything flush. You can glue it if you want. For now, I'm just going to try taping it because I don't know how permanent it's going to be. So I'm going to just go ahead and do this for all the remaining wires, and then I'll be ready to assemble everything together. Okay, and then here is the completed product. Well, completed up until this step. I have all the wires running now underneath the table and underneath the sandwich, and all the power wires are fed up correctly, and all the switch tracks work. So all that hard work is paid off. It's definitely taken a long time. You can see here with the finished product, you can still see some of the red power cables here coming through the sub base and the grass paper, but it looks a lot better than it did when we had wires just running across the entire table there. I also were able to bury most of the power wires here from my sidings as well. So thus far everything works pretty well. And just as an example, okay, I'm able to run everything. Even started, assembled a house. This is an old Bachmann house under construction, is I think what it's called, and my father gave me his old one here, so it looks pretty good because it's already even weathered, because it really is just that old. Anyway, here just working with all my switch tracks all wired up. Like I said, it doesn't look the best, and of course I freely admit I am no craftsman. I am not good at soldering, I am not good at woodworking, but for a first try at model trains here, I think it looks pretty good, or it's pretty functional, let's say. I'm still having some slight difficulty with that switch track there. I don't know whether it's just the it doesn't seem to want to switch all the way when you hit the button, and I know you're not supposed to hold the button down for an extended period of time. So, maybe we'll have to replace that one in the future. Thus far, I'm just going to leave it alone, or at least, for now, I'm going to leave it alone. So anyway, yeah, this is, I guess, basically the end of the build phase, as it were, and now we're just going to start getting into the decorating phase. I know I've been, pretty behind. Not that there's any deadlines, but just pretty slow on getting all these steps done. The soldering took me forever, just because I'm really not good at it and didn't really have all the right tools or the right wires. As you can see here, it is still pretty sloppy with my four for power packs and transformers, but you know, for a railroad this size, I think it's certainly manageable. So now I'm going to start with, you know, different scenery aspects, and I'm sure that's going to be slow going, you know, just because I've got a few other things going on right now, but, you know, hope to get some trees and some more buildings in place and, you know, raid my father's old stuff and see what he has still lying around. So anyway, like I said, hopefully these have, you know, helped out somebody, or, you know, just maybe piqued your interest or whatever, and, you know, feel free to comment below, and, you know, I'll try to respond. All right, thank you very much. Bye.